Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I am going to be talking about how to meet people when you're a solo traveler. So this is probably one of the biggest things that's intimidating about being a solo traveler. A lot of the time people think that they're going to be by themselves, they're going to get lonely, which I can assure you is not going to happen if you don't want it to. So hopefully this will give you some good insight to how to meet people as a solo traveler.
So I unexpectedly fell into the life of a nomad. I've been traveling the world full-time, on a budget, and doing it solo. I want to share with you everything that I've learned along the way, so join me every Tuesday for tips, tricks, and recommendations.
So tip number one, and the biggest tip in which I can tell you, is to stay at hostels. Hostels are amazing when you're a solo traveler. It is full of other solo travelers and full of people who want to be social and want to be meeting other people. So when you stay at a hostel, you can meet people when you're cooking in the kitchen. You can meet people on hostel activities when they have like games or events or things like that. Now there are different types of hostels, so do make sure you pick one that is a little bit more social. It doesn't have to be a party hostel, but ones that actually have events going on. But at least it gives you a chance to easily make friends. Just make sure you say hi when you walk into a room with someone. Make effort when you're in your dorm room to make conversation if someone looks like they're up for it, or cooking in the kitchen and making conversation, or just even chilling in the lounge and joining in some conversation. It is so easy when you're in a hostel. The second way in which you can meet people is doing free walking tours. So a lot of hostels actually come with free walking tours, but you can legit just type into Google free walking tour in Madrid, and it will come up with different companies that do free walking tours. But this gives you a way to hang out with people. Sometimes it can be a little bit harder to make conversations, but if there's people your age, try and walk next to them, make a little comment, and if there's another solo traveler there, they're generally a bit easier to make conversation with, and you might even be able to hang out afterwards, and you might even just make a new friend. The third way in which you can meet people when you're traveling is to actually go on Facebook and join different Facebook groups. So I'm in a female travel group. I'm also was in a travel group before I went to Peru and did my Inca Trail trek, and it was all people who were doing trekking with the same company that I was. I also joined a travel group for summer camps before I went to America. So there's lots of different travel groups in which you can join on Facebook. You can get in contact with people and ask people, hey, who's going to be here at this time? And then the people who say yes, you can chat for a little bit, you can add them on Facebook, you can organize to meet up, and that's a super easy way to meet someone, know if you have a little bit of common, and then when you're in a place, you can hang out. The fourth way in which you can meet people is to work and volunteer in different places. Now the difference with this is generally you have to be staying in a place a little bit longer, so it's not necessarily ideal for a quick backpacker, but someone who has a little bit more time in their hands, you can work and volunteer using Workaway or even just volunteering at hostels. But generally when you work with people, you're kind of automatically friends with them. So it's a great way to have people to explore with on your days off and things like that. And then you might even see them in different countries and stuff when you're still traveling around. So the fifth way in which you can meet people is using the Couchsurfing app. So even if you don't want to be staying on random people's couches, you can use it to meet up with them. There is a special thing on the Couchsurfing app in which you can use the Hangout. So what you do is just make yourself available to hang out, and then everyone who puts themselves available to hang out can message any of those people that have made themselves available to hang out. Now when these people message you, you don't have to hang out with them. Clearly you want to look at their profile, make sure that they have reviews to make sure they're safe, but it's probably one of the safer actual ways to meet up with people in an online perspective, because Couchsurfing is great because you leave reviews for people. So if people don't have any reviews on them, unlucky if they've just started on Couchsurfing, but as a traveler you've got to be safe. Just don't hang out with people that don't have at least, say, 10 reviews. So you know that they're not a fake person, you know that they're legit, other people have met them and they're all okay, they're clear. So it's a safer way to hang out with people. Couchsurfing is also good because there is events. So you can create an event like a local meetup, and especially bigger cities once a month sometimes have different local meetups. So anyone who is in couch surfing that is in that city at that particular time can join that event. It doesn't cost you anything. You meet up at whatever location the person who made the event has set, and you all meet up and you hang out. You could be hanging with 20 different other surfers, and it's really awesome because surfers are such, I don't know, they're just such a different kind of person. They're really awesome. And then there you go. You've automatically met people, and then you can hang out with them in other, like their home cities. If they're from Spain and you're in Africa, then you can meet up in their home country in France in a couple of years' time. So it's a really cool way to actually network and meet people from around the world and make new friends. Tip number 6 is a little bit weird, but it's offering to take photos. Now, if you want to make a friend from this, obviously you have to do it in a little bit of a smarter way. You're not going to offer to take a couple's photo and expect to get a friend out of that. I mean, if you want a free photo out of it, absolutely. I mean, I do that for people all the time. But if you're specifically looking to make a connection with someone to hang out with, look for, like personally, I would look for another solo female traveler. Or even once I did it to a guy in when I was in the Colosseum in Rome, and then later bumped into him at like another thing, and then he was like, hey, I'm by myself, do you want to hang out later? And I was like, yeah, sure. So then we got each other's numbers. Never ended up hanging out with him. But still, to my point, you can make a new friend out of taking a photo for someone. Just make sure that they're also a solo traveler, because then you're more likely to make a new friend from that. So tip number 7 is to ask around and tell people that you're going to different locations, because sometimes people may be like, oh, I have a friend also going there. Or if you just moved to a new location, you haven't met anyone, you might know someone who has also moved to another location, and they can be like, you should message this person. It actually happened to me when I was in Calgary in Canada. I didn't know anyone yet, but one of my friends had a friend that had also just moved there. She also hadn't met many people yet. So we met up, we hung out, we became friends. So that's such a good way. And the great thing is, you know they're not a murderer or anything because they know one of your friends. And generally, if your friend likes them, you're probably going to like them too. So that's a really easy one. This one is a little bit more for the extrovert type. Personally, I can't do this one, but another great way is to go to a bar and get a drink, get a meal, and make yourself available for people to come up and talk to you. Even if you have the ability to go up to a group and ask to sit with them, then that's another great way as well. So hanging out the bar, a great thing as well to make it less intimidating to go to a bar, you know, have a drink, calm those nerves, and go to the bar and talk to the bartender. Make you feel a little bit more comfortable until you're more comfortable to go up to someone else or someone come up to you. So that one is a little bit more, I don't know, nerve-wracking for me, but some people can do it, and I mean, hats off to people that can do that. But that's another great way that you can meet people, is by hanging out at a bar. So tip number 9 is group day tours. So you don't have to just do group tours that are, you know, a week and to a month long. You can just do day tours, which is one, more affordable for you, but it's a great way to meet people. And especially if you're just doing a small tour, which you can often find in like hostels and stuff like that, you just kind of become close really quickly. So when I did a group tour when I was in Spain, I think our tour had 5 people, something like that. And we all became quite close, and we even hung out after the tour. We even met up in other locations, and I still talk to them to this day. So that's a great way to meet people and have a really good time. Number 10 is meetups. So this is another group kind of one, app kind of one. There's different apps and ways that you can go into new groups in an area. So this might be a little bit better when you're like in a destination for a longer period of time, or if you've just moved somewhere and you're trying to meet people. But especially there's an app called Meetups. And what you do is you select your hobby. So whether your hobby is dancing or riding or hiking or walking your dog, you can pick your hobbies, and there's all these different groups in accordance to what your hobbies are. So for example, I chose the hiking one, and I add into the hiking group, And then people set up events to go on a hike for a day. So then all people that are in this group, everyone meets at this location and you all go on a hike together. Or maybe you all go talk about a book together, or maybe you all go walk your dog together, or whatever it may be that is your interest. You're with a bunch of other people that are also interested in that topic, and you hang out and make new friends. So I reckon that's a win. There you go, guys. That's 10 tips in ways that you can meet people when you're traveling solo. So it's really not hard. If you're solo and you want to be by yourself, then you can absolutely be by yourself if you want to. But if you don't want to be by yourself and you don't want to be lonely, you really don't have to be. You can spend your entire vacation, your entire holiday with people the whole time if you want to. Just make yourself open, say hi to everyone, be happy, approachable, and you'll make so many friends. Hopefully this video has maybe inspired you and made you think a little bit that you can actually travel solo and you can actually meet people and it will be okay. So give me a thumbs up if you like today's video, guys. Hit subscribe if you want to see videos like this every Tuesday, and comment down below any ways in which you have that you meet people that I haven't mentioned today, or let me know which ones would you be able to do and which ones wouldn't you be able to do.